Today we're talking about the Spitfire Audio Labs Synth Strings. So in this video I'm doing a full tutorial / review on this plugin. And what I did in this video, like I do for all my Spitfire videos, is I wrote a little piece. So hopefully this piece will help you decide whether this is a plugin you want to add to your collection or not. And if you guys want to learn what this plugin can do and what it sounds like, stick around after this introduction. Welcome everybody, I'm Dan Spencer and I am the Audio Sorcerer. So this is a channel where I teach you how to perfect your audio recording, mixing, and mastering skills. So before we get to the video, make sure you guys smash the like button. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell to know when I have new videos coming out. So without further ado, today we're talking about the Spitfire Audio Labs Synth Strings. And as you guys know, I love to do reviews on the Lab series by Spitfire Audio because these plugins are absolutely free. And as we know, free plugins are great, especially when they sound good, which this one happens to. Now, what are the synth strings? Well, the name of them pretty much gives them away. They are strings that have somewhat of a synth sound to them. And basically, this little paragraph right here on the website describes them perfectly. It says, these classic synth textures have been created from the infamous Selena String Ensemble, a 70s string synthesizer used on countless iconic disco and rock records. From fuzzy, warm vibrations to bright stabs that cut through the mix, Lab's synth strings have been recorded at Spitfire HQ by Harry Wilson and Hannah Roberts Owen and comes complete with sampled modulation and process pads. Okay, so if you've seen the movie Blade Runner, you will have heard these strings because essentially that's what these strings are modeled after. And I would also say that these strings kind of sound like the synth in Sweet Dreams by the Rhythmics. Now they're not quite as hard as that synth, but they have some similar overtones, all right? So before we get further into the video, I do want to mention I have a playlist popping up in the top right corner to my Spitfire audio reviews and tutorials. And if you guys like this video and this particular plugin, I think there might be some videos in that playlist that you guys might enjoy, so check it out after this one. So, in this video, we are going to go over the user interface of the plugin first, which if you guys have never seen the Labs plugins before, I definitely recommend watching that part of the video. If you guys are familiar with Labs, feel free to skip over it. And then after that, we're going to listen to the piece I wrote so you can hear what this plugin sounds like. So let's get into it and let's look at the user interface. Alright, so we got the Spitfire Audio Labs plugin here. Now, just so you know, the Labs plugin houses all the different libraries. So if I was to click this open here, you're going to see all the different libraries that I have in here. So at the top, you'll see that I have synth strings here, and here are some of the presets that exist in here. So it comes with 6. And the plugin is super simple. So essentially this fader right here, the one with the green underneath it, this is basically your volume fader. I always run this at 100%. This one here is somewhat of a dynamic range fader. And I usually like to run this more towards the top because it has more definition up there. So it's a little less, I guess you can say, dynamic when you bring it down. So I just suggest that you play with this fader so you get the sound that you're looking for. And then here, you got your rotary knob here. And if you press this middle button, this gives you the parameters that you can adjust with it. So you got reverb, variation, attack, decay, sustain, and release. So those are pretty straightforward. Of course, your attack, decay, sustain, and release, that's what's going to really shape your sound. So you can, you could pick a preset in here and you can really change how it sounds. That's probably the easiest way to go about it. That's how I recommend using the plugin because I like to use presets with it. So other things, the reverb here, you have different reverb options. If you go to the top here, you'll see I have it on toasty right now. So let's click on that. So we got spring, stretched, evolution, plate, and toasty. So those are options that we have, okay? And then of course, variation. That's going to give us some variations in the playing. I'm not quite sure exactly what it does for the synth strings, but I know that this is different per library, okay? So overall, that's really it. And then beyond that, you just got things that are pretty typical to virtual instruments from your actual tuning, your pan, volume, and then you also have your mod wheel and pitch bend down here, okay? And then the little picture of the piano down here, this shows you what is the playable range. So anything in black is not playable on your full-size 88 keyboard. So for you guys that don't have a full-size keyboard, just know that when you're going down through your octaves up and down, if you get down into this range here and you're pressing buttons and you don't hear anything, that is why. All right. So that is the Spitfire Audio Labs plugin in a nutshell here. So why don't we give a listen to the Synth Strings now, and you guys can see if you like them. All right, so let's give it a listen. Alright, so that is my little piece that I wrote for this video. Now I should mention that I did use one other plugin. The plugin is called Cube by Lunacy Audio. That is that arpeggiating kick part that is underneath all of the strings. I felt like it needed that to make this overall piece a little bit more interesting. However, pretty much 99% of the song is synth strings, okay? So I hope after watching this video you have a good idea of whether or not you want to take the time to download these strings. Again, they are free, and I do have a link in the description below where you guys can go download them. And if you guys ended up liking this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe because I'm making this content for you, and hit that notification bell to know when I have new videos coming out. So with that being said, until the next video, I will see you guys later, and peace out.